Hi, you guys. Is Sounding the Alarm 100, and this is Kat, and we're here because Kat had a dream in 2012 that we want you to pray about and use your discernment with the Lord, and but we feel like we should share it, and she's gonna let you know. Go ahead.
Yes, I had a dream about me and my sister and a few friends of ours. We went we went to a bus terminal and the buses were lined up. There were so many buses and they were all school kids and they were people around our age. They looked like us. They had backpacks and school supplies, everything. And they
Were they
were
college?
they were college kids because we're college kids. So we we all went on the bus with the youth and everything, and um, there were so many buses all the way down, and they were all being everyone was going inside the buses, and we went inside a bus, and they kept driving the buses. When they got full, they just left, and we went into a bus, and it got full, so it left, and we were standing there in the back, and we were just waiting, and there were kids sitting down with their backpacks and stuff like that, talking, um, and we looked out the windows, and we noticed after a while they started driving. A while after they were driving, um, the buses started hitting a building in the middle of a roundabout, and
What do you mean hitting a building?
they kept crashing into a building.
They just kept going and psh, crashing psh, like that.
Every bus.
All of them just this was the building,
Right.
and they just kept psh, crashing into it.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Were they crashing hard or?
They were crashing hard, fire and explosions. Um, and we noticed that and we saw that and we opened an emergency window in the bus and jumped out of the bus, our bus, before it crashed into the building. The building was shaped circular. It was kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa type, but
It was a circular
it
building,
was a circular
and
building,
it
but
looked.
it wasn't tilted like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It was upright. So um, I don't know if there's another building like that,
Or
but
what that?
that's what it looked like. It was circular. It looked like a cylinder. So when we jumped out, our bus, we just made it by the skin of our teeth because our bus crashed right into it. And it was a busy roundabout with all these buses. So,
So what do you mean? It was a roundabout
around the building.
around the building.
Yes.
But instead of going around the building, they would go in and crash into the building.
Right. And it was heavy laden traffic, like in New York City there, anyway.
And then when they crashed into the building, what happened to the students that were in there?
They died because it was an explosion.
What did they look like? Did they see?
I didn't see anybody die.
Did you see their faces?
No.
They weren't expecting it. It seemed like.
No, they were just going to school. So that's what happened in my dream.
Okay, so then that brings me to my next point. Nelnet, the student loans, the Department of Education student loans. They give people a hard time in paying their loans when you call. And how they do that is because if you have a debit or a credit card, they only want to take two payments. Okay, if it's a debit or a credit card that you're using, they only just want to take two payments. You have to have a bank account in order for them to take whatever payment that you want, and the bank account has to have account number, routing number, and all that stuff. You know, and it can't just be one of those prepaid cards that you get. They don't want you to use a credit card, because they said that they don't want people to incur debt, in order to pay them off. They want you, they will accept a bank account, or they will accept a money order. Now, when it comes to the money orders, um, if those things get lost, there's no tracking them and you lost your money. And then when it comes to the bank accounts, these bank cards are now coming with a microchip embedded in them. And that's the mark of the beast. That microchip is the mark of the beast. I mean, and it's not in your right hand and it's not in your forehead, but that's still the mark of the beast. That mark of the beast is now on those credit cards, and it was supposed to start in October, but in May we tried to open up a bank account because Nelnet wouldn't take the payments. And I asked, and I said, now your bank cards don't have the microchip yet because it's not October. She said, no, that we just got them last week. That's what she said. And I'm like, no, you're kidding me. Well, then we're not going to open up an account here. You see? So, that's really bad because, they're stalling. Instead of Nelnet just taking the payment like they're supposed to, they kept giving my payment back to me, and they the website, and even when I called to pay the money, they would act like they took the payment, and then a week later it would be refunded back to my card, and it was just getting on my nerves. And they would only take 2 payments. They wouldn't take like the whole amount that I was trying to pay. It was really frustrating. Now we're hearing by what Jonathan Kahn said, and the Shemitahs and all that stuff. All the stock markets are crashing, just like he said. And a lot of Christians are talking about that they're trying to usher in a different currency for payment, which is the mark of the beast. So perhaps the reason that they're stalling with these, and giving people such a hard time and making it so different, that I can use my card to go ahead and pay for a phone bill, anything except for Nelnet. And if when I pay them, Nelnet is the Department of Education loans. When I pay them, they will only want to take 2 payments, and they won't take the whole amount. Because it's not with a bank that has, it's not a bank account, and it's not it's not a check or a money order, because with a check you would need a bank account, and I don't want a bank account with those microchips embedded in those cards. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, it's really hard, and they're making it difficult instead of making it simple and easy for people to just go ahead and give them the money. And I even got so upset, and I yelled. I said, look, I got the money. Why don't you just take the money? When it comes, and if these people are right, these Christians, when it comes to a different currency coming up quick, even that guy from InfoWars, what's his name? Alex Jones, he said that when he was little, he and his family had contacts that they would be talking to in the kitchen and in the living room or whatever, and he heard one of his father's friends say that when you start seeing the money be colorful, that's when they're going to start ushering in the one world currency. And the one world currency, isn't that the mark of the beast? The Bible says that those that take the mark of the beast, they won't have any forgiveness. You're stanked up to be damned. That's it. Okay? So understand me when I tell you, we are just doing what we were led to do. Okay? We're doing the video for you, just letting you know we're in the same boat as you. What I'm saying is that the dream that she had, it just seems to go with the difficulty I'm having trying to get the Department of Education to take our payments. We don't want to just give them a handful of, just 2 payments. We want to pay it in full. We want to do this. But they keep giving the money back. It was so frustrating. You have no idea. You know what I mean? And I'm concerned because they're saying that this new world currency, when the stock market crashes, September, October, they're gonna try to usher in a new currency, and we're not having that. And it just seems so dangerous, you guys. You know what I'm saying? For our souls, and we're all just trying to just live our life and do our thing. But the United States is Babylon, and Babylon's gonna sink. You know, and she also had a dream. If you go ahead and check, the United States will be destroyed. You know, that the United States was the boat that sank. And I put that in my video. So if you want to take a look at that, um, it's frustrating. And what you need to do is you need to pray and ask God for help, because when you ask, he wants to help you. You know what I mean? It's his idea for you to ask and receive. It's his idea for you to seek him and find him, and knock and the door shall be open. It's his idea to rescue you. So it's his will to do it. So when you're asking him something, you're not, about help in these situations, you're not asking amiss. You're asking for his will. So he will help you. And if you have any comments, you have any concerns, if you have any advice, we'll take it. Just let us know. We'll consider it. And for sure, you need to take this seriously, because it seems to say that there's something wrong with the college system. It's crashing into buildings, a building explosion, blown up. The buses holding the kids were crashing into buildings, and then they were exploding, holding the college kids going to school, crashing into buildings, exploding. That sounds really bad. And we had dreams that they come to pass. You see what I'm saying? And when that happens, well, it's a very concerning thing. It's something to be concerned about. So this is her dream. And if you want to reference it in the Bible where it talks about the mark of the beast, it's Revelation chapters 13 and 14. Okay, so just listen here. They were crashing into a building. They were on their way to school, and the buses were crashing into a building. And thank God that these folks jumped off. Not all of them jumped off, though. Because I don't believe that not everybody's also going to take our warning seriously. You had to have lived our lives and seen the things that we've seen in our dreams come to pass in order to take it seriously. And even then, because the dreams that we've had are so crazy. You know what I mean? And the thing is that they come to pass, like the flood in New York and everything. I had those dreams before it happened, and it's coming to pass. It's come to pass. There was Irene, and there was, what's the name of the other one? The hurricane after Irene. Sandy. There was Irene and there was Sandy. The flood in New York. So you could just about imagine having those dreams, right? And then seeing it, before it happens, months before it happens, and then it happens. And you could just, it's just frustrating. And then the other dreams, it just talks about destruction, about the United States of America. It talks about the mark of the beast. The other dreams that we've had, that I've had, talks about foreign troops, persecuting the Christians coming from the southern border. And that was before the border was open, and Christians just running for it. It just, when you have these dreams and you've seen them come to pass, and then you have even worse ones, or dreams that are still really bad, and they haven't come to pass yet. It's natural that denial sets in. I mean, the sun is shining, the sun is beautiful, the sky is blue, life is going on as normal. And then, bam, these things happen, just like in the dream, So it's scary, and there's just a natural human mechanism that just wants you to keep, thinking, no, everything's going to be all right. No, everything's going to be normal. No, these things are not going to happen. But the foul thing is, and I don't know if it's foul, but to me, it feels frustrating because, I mean, they're happening. These dreams that we have are coming to pass. Some have already come to pass. Some are coming to pass. I mean, if you notice the upload dates on my videos, and then you notice if you Google the news and see, when these things did happen, the things that have happened thus far, you'll notice that it was, years later or months later after I posted. So, it's hard. And this was a dream that I had felt led to have Kateria talk to you about. And there's another dream that she had, and we were going to post that because it's a different story, similar, but different story about the United States and what's coming. I mean, I'm sure you already know because it's only a confirmation of what other people have dreamt, but she dreamt this before she had that confirmation from other people. But anyway, the point still remains that these things are coming to pass. And they're coming to pass because we're in the end times. We're in the end of the end times. All right. You guys go ahead and follow Jonathan Kahn. And, remember that he's a real man of God. And stay with Jesus and don't you let go of his hand. Don't you let go of God's hand, okay? That's the safest place to be is in God's will, and God doesn't ever tell you to do anything that goes against the Bible. God bless you. Take care. And thank you, Kateria.
Thank you for having me.